Dr. Cass, I don't take drugs unless I really have to. I don't recommend people take drugs. I have noticed that when you take drugs, there's pills a certain size, and it says take 4 of these a day. Mm-hmm. Are all drugs, do you take the same amount, the same dosage, the same number of milligrams for everyone, whether it's a little kid or whether it's an old woman or whether it's somebody who's a
you bring up a really
college athlete?
That's a very good question. Now, officially, when you look up drugs in the physician's desk reference in the PDR, it really does say you're doing it by milligrams per kilogram. But when you really get down to dosing, doctors just don't dose that way. So, for example, Prozac is a very good example. Most people are given 20 milligrams to start with. Now, the research, the original research done by the company that developed Prozac, had people getting good results on 5 milligrams and 10 milligrams. So why did they come out with a 20 milligram? They came out with a 20 milligram because there was a certain percentage of their population, of the test population, that needed to go up to 20. So rather than tailor it for each one, just put out the 20 milligram, because that way you're going to get everyone underneath it as well. Unfortunately, you're going to up the side effects as well. So you're giving, particularly women need much lower doses of a lot of drugs because the pharmacokinetics in women are different, the way the drugs act in the body. We have more fat than men. There's a different distribution of water in the body. And so, and the hormones are also affecting drug effects. So women really do require lower doses. And myself as a psychiatrist, I'll see patients on the SSRIs on really too high a dose. And Prozac, for example, which was the first and the most popular SSRI, I would end up having someone say on 5 milligrams doing much better than they did on 20, because on 20 they were being overdosed. Dr. Jay Cohn wrote a nice book called Overdose, the 2 words overdose, which really explains all that. He went through the research and showed how many of the studies showed a much smaller dose was adequate. So we need to measure things very specifically. We need to tailor things to the individual. And then on top of that, people are given more medication than they really need altogether. I mean, very often they don't need a prescription. What they really need is to look at what's the root cause of the issue and use a natural supplement. Use something safe and natural that doesn't have side effects but has side benefits rather than side effects.
I would recommend, and we're going to talk a lot more about this, that people look for this book, Supplement Your Prescription, which you wrote, Dr. Cass. But it has a great deal of information that could not only save your life, but could really make your life a much higher quality life. And I think we need to talk a lot more about this particular book. But thank you for this segment.